Any questions with this particular page? Aileen?
For E and F, I got 2 as a
Check your plot points. That's the first thing you want to do. Check your plot points. Did you get for point E, -2, -4?
no, I got, wait, for E?
Right, look here. You're doing E and F, right?
Yeah.
So the first point E, should be -2, -4.
I got -2, -5.
Okay, that could be the issue. And then what'd you get for the next one? For both point F?
-7, -4.
Okay, so that was the only mistake there. And then if you do it, you should get the distance being 5. What did you get as a distance?
Oh, yeah, I had -7, -6. I got this one.
Be able to look and analyze your own mistakes. If you got something wrong, look back at your plot points, because that could be the first culprit. That could be the first thing that's going to cause everything else. If these points are wrong, then the distance is not going to be right, and certainly the proving by absolute value is not going to be right. And while I'm on this subject of plot points, when you get to the shapes and finding the area of polygons on the coordinate plane, if you don't plot your points correctly, everything after that becomes wasted work, because it's going to all be wrong. So I would always just double and triple check your plot points and make sure you connect your dots correctly. All right, can we go on to the next one? All right, here it comes. If you did everything right, points, distance, and formula correctly, you got 36 square units. Can I see a show of hands if you got it right? Great. That's good. I'm curious about the next one, because that involves the most amount of steps. So let's do this. I want to hear from you. Tell me what you got. And if you want to know, we're talking about page 22. The area of the triangle. And it happens to be an acute triangle if you did everything right. Well, maybe you did, but maybe you got the shape right, but you didn't know what to name it. Well, let me hear from you. Let's do area. If you got the area right, then everything else preceding it is right. What'd you get, Karen? What'd you get?
36.
You got 36. What'd you get?
6 units.
You got 6. What'd you get? 36. What'd you get? 3. What'd you get?
36.
36. What'd you get?
Well, I didn't know this. Like on the back. So I thought.
Well, it looks like also you might not have gotten the change, because the plot point was changed. Were you in class yesterday?
Yeah, -6, -6.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the shape that you created, and the shape's not right.
Oh.
I didn't think so.
What do you got?
Oh.
What'd you get, D?
Yeah,
Anybody else want to volunteer an answer? I won't tell you who's right and who's wrong until we get to the actual page.
no, I got
All right, if you didn't volunteer an answer, I'm going to assume you didn't do it.
Oh, I did it.
What'd you get, Dan?
I know I got this wrong, but I got 20.
Okay. If you did it, I want to hear from you, whether you think it's right or not.
I got 2.5.
What'd you get? 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 All right, let's do it.
Wait, that's 26.
All right, let's do it. Well, let me. I actually did it on, and I did everything on the same page, so I'm not flipping back and forth. All right, here it comes. It's busy, but it's all here. Only way that you're going to be able to do this shape is by composing a rectangle around it. You can't decompose this shape, because if you draw a diagonal here to get a height, see, you break it up into 2 triangles, but your triangle height is a diagonal line, and that's useless. We can't do it that way. Only way to do it is to draw a rectangle around it and then subtract the 3 triangles on the outside. So that's what I'm going to show you here. I did it all on one page, so I'm not flipping back and forth. My rectangle when you count, has a base of 7. Oh, I'm sorry, rectangle. A base of 7, and my height, if I count accurately, winds up being 12. 7 times 12 makes 84. That's my entire shape. And then I'm going to do each rectangle and subtract it from the whole, each triangle, and then subtract it from the whole snow cone to get what I need. Triangle 1, the base is 7, and here's the height, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 7 times 4 divided by 2 is 14. Triangle 2. I've already counted the base there. You can see the leaps. It's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is my height. Divide by 2, you get 16. And then triangle 3, as you can see, the base is 3. The height all the way to the top is 12. And then you divide that by 2, get 18. And then what I did, just to kind of shortcut a little bit, I had 84 as my whole rectangle. What does this 48 represent? What is this 48? Anna?
It's the 3 small triangles, like added on.
Right, I just took the 3 small triangles and I added it in my head because I knew that those 3 triangles then has to be subtracted from the whole rectangle. And if you do it, you get 36 square units. Okay?
Oh, I had the points wrong. I did negative 6, 6.
So it's like every step builds on the previous step. If you don't plot the points correctly in the very beginning, everything else falls apart. Okay, so now let's say you plot the points correctly. My suggestion to you, connect your lines with a ruler. I would definitely do that. Because if you're off by a little bit, it could throw you off. As you'll see when we do the next one together, I'm going to give you rulers. It will help. So now you connect your lines. So far, so good. And then you start to figure out how you're going to compose or decompose. Let's say you get as far as realizing you got to create a rectangle around the triangle. Okay, so far, so good, but you're still only like halfway home. You got to count correctly. I've seen that where the hard part's done, and then I have students that don't count boxes correctly. And if that's the case, it's going to throw your answer off. So let's say you count all your boxes correctly. Now you got to know your formulas. Not only do you need to know your formulas, you need to be able to substitute in your numbers correctly. Let's say you do all of that right. Now you got to be able to punch it into the calculator correctly. Then when that's all done, you have to know whether you're adding or subtracting to get the piece that you want. There's so many layers to it. That's why I want you to show all work. Because every time you show me work, I can give you credit. Let's just say, for this particular question, let's say it's 25 points on a test. Let's just say. And you did everything in your head, and you write down your final answers, 34 square units. Guess how many points you get out of 25? You actually get 1, because square units is worth a point if you do your units. But if all the steps leading up to it was correct, but you just made one little math error at the end, how am I supposed to know that? I cannot grade what's going on inside your heads. That's why you've got to show me all of the steps. Show me all of the steps. Show me how you're thinking. Because I want to award you with points. I don't want to take points away. I want to give you as many points as you're entitled to. Okay? I will probably tell you there's going to be maybe 1 or 2 questions on the test at the end of next week where you have to compose or recompose like this, or compose and decompose. Okay, everybody go to page 9 and then look at me when you're done. Just go to page 9 and then give me your eyeballs up here. These packets are large, so I'm going to identify everything by page number. Plus, they all look alike. They all have a grid sheet. Page 9 at the bottom, right? I'm going to double check too. What I need you to do plot the points, but do not connect them. Plot the points, label the letters, don't connect them. There's 4 points, so you got to be real careful. Okay, starting with K, -10, -9. Make sure you're in quadrant 3. L is -8, -2. M is -3, -6. And N, which some people don't see, but it's -7 and -6. Okay. What's interesting about this, or something I haven't taught you, is how to connect these. Because there's different ways that you can connect this and not be right. Don't do this, but I'll give you a for instance. I've seen some people connect it this way. Don't do this, because it's wrong. Hold on. Hold on. I lost my train of thought. I saw it done like, hold on. Hold on. I got it. I've seen it done that way. Which, hold on, wait. Connor, come up, because you have it wrong. I need you to do it the wrong way for me.
Yay!
This is the right way, actually.
Okay,
Connor,
right way.
I am going to use your mistake as an example. Please don't be offended. Hold on. Go ahead. I forgot how he did it. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, good. Yeah, good. All right. Thank you for being wrong for us. Give him a round of applause. It's, yeah. See, so here's what we need to do. Yeah. We're going to, in order to get it right, we connect, ready? This is how you always can be assured that you're right. You connect in alphabetical order. So, that being said, use your straight edge, because it's imperative that you do it straight. Use your ruler. K to L.
L to M, N to N.
L to M. M to N. I gotta correct this one a little bit, and you gotta be as on as you can get. So it does make a difference, and that should be good.
That's good.
That's what okay. Now there is a name for this shape. It's called a chevron, but I don't expect you to know that. It's a four-sided enclosed shape. Call it a quadrilateral. No, call it a quadrilateral. It's a four-sided shape, which is the definition of any quadrilateral, is any four-sided shape. All right. That is where I'm going to ask you to do thinking. How would you break this up so that you can find its area? Think of either decomposing. I would always look to decompose. I would look to see if you can decompose first. And if it doesn't work with decomposition, then you could look outside of the chevron or the quadrilateral to see if you can compose something. All right, if I call you up, I want you to show the class. Brandon, you got first crack. Brandon, I'm even going to set you going with a dotted line so you can use your finger. All right, so you're good. Don't do this yet until we've confirmed that it will work.
Well,
Let's check and see if it works. In order for this to work, you have to have a countable base. When I say countable, I mean that you got to be able to count the boxes for your base and your height. Okay. Do we have two triangles?
Yes.
Absolutely. So far, so good. Can we count the base? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So far, so good. Now, it can't be 6 and then a little bit more of another box. It can't be 6.5. It's got to land on a box. And it does. The height. 1, 2, 3, 4. So far, triangle 1 is good. We've got to see if triangle 2 will work. I'll do it in green. 1, 2. So far, so good. Now the height. Remember the height, this is an obtuse triangle, by the way. In this obtuse triangle, I need to go and find its height by extending outside of the obtuse triangle. So my height is from here to there. I have a base and height for both triangles. I am good. Okay? I am good. All right, so make your inside line, and then I'm going to show you other unsuccessful attempts that I've seen today, just so we know why it doesn't work. All right, so we now know Brandon got it right. Let me show you some other mistakes, and you tell me why it won't work. All right, ready? I'll go dot the line again.
Yes.
Will it work? Why or why not? Yeah, what do you think?
It will not work because N is not connected to the outside.
I think I need you to clarify what you mean.
Because
Look at your shapes outside of the quadrilateral.
okay, that is where N's in the middle of the letter N.
Okay.
That is not a full triangle. You need to make a line from N down.
Okay, he's kind of sort of got it. When you decompose or compose, you must create a triangle, a square, or a rectangle. We have a triangle here. If I were to label this, triangle 1 is good. Triangle 2 would be good. This, however, is not a triangle. Would this work?
Yes.
Let's check. Triangle 1, triangle 2, rectangle 3, triangle 4. Would it work? And it would,
That takes more.
but it takes more work. I'd rather have to do 2 shapes rather than 1 large shape and then subtract 4 shapes. Technically, you're doing 5 sets of formulas and substitutes to do this. Okay, let's look at one more other variation I saw today. Going backwards. One more. Here we go. Yes or no?
No.
Let's check. Let's call this triangle 1. Count. Count.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Base is 4, so far so good. Height, even though it's outside the triangle,
1, 2, 3, 4. Yes.
so far triangle 1 would work. Let's look at triangle 2.
I see something.
Triangle 2, all sides are diagonals. Can't have a diagonal base. It doesn't matter whether you call this the base, or whether you call this the base, or this the base. If all three are diagonal, you can't do it. So anyway, Brandon's option is the best. Okay? Let's go back and find the area now. It works on all levels because it creates two triangles that you can find base and height for, and it's the least amount of steps. So let's do the area together. Okay. Triangle 1 and triangle 2. Guys, please, with the rulers. I'm going to do it right on this sheet. If you want to do it right on the sheet, I'm fine with it, so we're not flipping back and forth. Formula for area of triangle. All right, Pate, go. Oh, no. Triangle.
Divide by 2.
Okay, write it out. I'm color coding, so my triangle 1 is going to be red, top. What is my base? Count it. Count accurately. The hard part's really done. The rest, you know it. Okay, what's my base?
It's 6.
That's 4. Doesn't get me to the end, bud.
Oh, you have to go 6. 6.
Be careful. What's my height? Jules, my height's 4. I'm going to knock out a 2 and a 6. Everybody, 3 times 4. Thank you, Kevin. I'm going to put it right up there so I know that that's done.
Whoa.
Okay, let's do 2. Formula for a triangle. Pate?
Base times height. Divide by 2.
What's my base? Count the boxes. What's my base, Karen?
2. Correct.
What's my height? And be careful. What's my height? Be careful. M and M.
3.
Yeah, 3. What can I knock out? Lee. What do they become, Lee? Total area, Leah. Total area, Leah. What do I have to do in my final step? And remember, we did not compose, we decomposed. What do we have to do in the final step, Anna? We add our two shapes together and we get 15 square units. All right, you ready to do the next one all on your own? I tell you what, let's do this. Because like I told you, if you make a mistake in your plot points, then everything's going to be wrong. Do me a favor. Ready? Plot the points. Label the points, A, B, C, D, E. I think there's 5 points. 5 points. 5 points. Label them and connect the dots in alphabetical order. Then I'll come around and check. Right, page 11, correct. Page 11. It should be 5 points. P, Q, R, S, and T. Yup, connect them, plot them, and connect them, and be careful. You ready? Most of you I've seen. I haven't seen everybody, but most of you. Okay. What's the name of the shape? Pentagon. It's actually called a regular pentagon because it has 2 lines of symmetry. one line of symmetry. Here's your quest. It's going to take you to the end of the period.
Oh.
Okay? When I'm done here, you're going to meet in your groups, and you're going to discuss with your partners. Listen now. How you would break up this shape, and here's the key. I want you to break it up in the least amount of shapes as possible. As long as your shapes, you have to have a base and a height. It's got to be, you got to be able to count boxes. Okay? There is more than one way that you can do it, but the key is the least amount of shapes. Meet with your groups now and go.